Live from the corn dog stand at Starbase 80.
Yes.
It's Geekshow.
Chad. He's got the best corn dogs.
And also one of the top people on the Starbase.
I was walking down the stairway at Starbase 80, and I tripped and fell and got a corn dog. You hear about this? Let's start the show.
I didn't know we had Jay Leno on today.
Hey, hear about this? Hear about this Star Wars? This Star Wars
Dude's
is pretty
missing
crazy.
a fingernail. I don't think you lose a fingernail by falling down a hill.
Yeah,
Not that quickly. That's true. Usually it has to bruise real hard and then falls off in like a
but
week.
he is older.
You wouldn't think that you would lose a toenail kicking a door open while running away from zombies either, but it happens.
And yet there's Lee.
I've never seen it in a movie, though.
Yeah.
That did happen to poor Lee at San Diego Comic-Con.
They were very convincing.
They were. Thank you. Lee George Cade,
Yes.
everybody. That was the day that, what's his name, tried to beat me up at Wrestler.
I think his name was
it?
Beef.
CM Punk.
Oh,
tried to beat me up
it
at-
was.
Oh, he was at SmackDown yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also got in Carrie's face and said, "You ask permission before you do that, little man."
What did you do? Tickle him?
I was
He
trying to
kept recording.
take a picture for somebody, who was a fan. I'm not a fan. I was trying to take a picture,
I said, "Well, that boy's got some steroid problems."
Yes, indeed.
Bless you.
What?
2 times.
Bless you.
Name is James Brown.
Salud.
He's allergic to Southern California. He's Jay Whitaker, everybody.
No, I'm not. I love it here. Please send help. No, I'm just No, it's good. What's
Where
up?
are you
guys?
at, Jay? What's your schedule?
Man, I don't even know. I'm in LA. I'm on a cruise next week, and I'm in. Hey, do me a favor. I know we have Philly listeners, so if you're in Philadelphia, on the after Christmas, come see me and Dulce Sloan at I think it's Punchline. Punchline.
I
Comedy
thought
Club.
you said silly listeners, and
I
I
did
was
too
like,
at
we
first.
do have some
We have
silly
plenty of those.
listeners.
But we also
So all
have
the
Philly
sil-
listeners.
The
Yeah,
radio,
we
the
do.
radio
Philly.
show, surprisingly, we have a lot of Pennsylvania listeners. So
Yeah.
we'll put the word out.
All you
How?
silly Phillies out
I
there.
don't understand. Isn't that a red state?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about it.
She doesn't want to talk about it. She's Rebecca Frost, everybody.
My tinfoil hat. We're nearing the end of November, and I
Put it
said
on.
if nothing happened towards the end of November, I would take my hat off and put it away and never think about it again. And we're coming up on that time.
Those are words.
You still got a week. It's okay.
You know,
It's
I
the
won't even
holiday. It's
lie.
officially the holidays. We are officially in circle back around in the new year territory.
Are we? Okay.
Oh yeah.
tinfoil hat. Rebecca is my favorite Rebecca.
Robert Neal is here. Hello, Robert.
Good morning. Afternoon, good evening.
Looking forward to your comic books, what you read this week.
Oh, I've got something for you this week. I got a
end of
couple
the
of things
show.
for you, actually.
Quad T, Too Tall Tony is here as well. Hello, Tony.
Hi. I'm here. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, Tony, you good, bro?
I'm
Help
good.
desk, all that. Yeah.
Hi.
All right.
And our host, Mr. Kerry Jackson.
Oh, thank you. Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com, except for this week, of course, because of the Thanksgiving and stuff.
Holiday.
See, it's officially circle back around after the holidays.
So we're going to get started with a couple of things we're going
Tinfoil.
to watch. Alien, first of all, Alien Earth, which is a teaser that it was just like 30 seconds is all. There's no scenes from the show.
This is V. This isn't Alien.
Hey man, I don't know what to
V
tell
versus Alien
you.
crossover.
Is Earth crowning? What's
It
going on?
is.
here?
as a matter of
Yeah.
fact.
The
It's just-
Eternals. This is the end of the Eternals.
Yeah, it's just 30 seconds and an announcer saying the year is 2120, and Earth is about to give birth or something like that. It was some deep voice, very serious sounding fellow.
Oh my God, it's the Eternals.
Yeah, 2120. Mother Earth is expecting. The voiceover says, and then of course the globe turns into the xenomorph head and it screeches and. All
Hey,
that
what if
stuff.
this is actually a documentary because of all the aliens that are in the ocean?
Oh, there's tinfoil hat, Rebecca.
Carrie, I've never heard you sound so disappointed in me in your
I'm
whole
just, no, I'm thrilled you know about that. I'm thrilled you know about that.
I'm shocked that more people don't know about
Yes.
it.
A sitting member of Congress was talking about that.
Aliens in the ocean? Are you talking about like dolphins or something?
No,
No,
oh my God,
Cloverfield.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
I
Sorry.
got some catching up to do.
Congressional hearings
Lauren
about
Boebert.
aliens in the ocean.
Lauren
this-
Y'all
Boebert
don't know
was,
about that?
yeah, she was questioning people about alien cities in the bottom of the ocean because she's
Whoa.
convinced they're real.
Cool.
That's
This
what
is
we're doing, folks.
this is amazing because when I left radio, I for a period of time started realizing that I was losing touch with music and that new music I had no idea what was going on with new music because I wasn't listening anymore.
And now you don't know
since-
about new conspiracy theories.
Yeah, since leaving social media, I just don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. Now, I bring this up because, as you know, I love Alien, and because I was going to watch Alien Romulus last night because it's finally on your Disney Plus and your Hulu's, right? And there's something naughty about watching it on the Disney Plus app. But anyway,
Naughty.
He's
said-
not wrong.
I said, let's watch Alien Romulus, Sue. And she said, why don't you watch it after I go to bed? And I said, yeah, but I won't be able to have it up loud. And she goes, well, I'm just after this conversation, you have permission to watch the movie however you'd like. I will be asleep. And I knew it would happen halfway through the wine and the darkness and everything. So I don't know what happened. It started out great, though.
I was
Oh,
hoping
no.
you were going to say I got too scared.
Yeah.
had to turn on the lights.
It started out great, and then I woke up and I went, "What is that god awful thing?" And then I said, "Well, I'll have to go back and watch it again."
Oh, Carrie.
I know you'll have to explain it to me in the after party.
There's nothing to explain.
How did it get? No, all right, no, we'll get to it.
That's in the first half of the movie.
All right.
Did you not catch the wine part there, Rebecca?
Yeah, there was some Chardonnay happening. Jimmy the wine guy brought some Chardonnay, and it was delightful. So anyway,
It was some Chardonnay happening. Sounds like a mixtape name. That's like, I like
Alien
that.
Chardonnay.
Alien Chardonnay happening. I like that.
Chardonnay hat.
Yeah, like it's like their version of the Catalina wine mixer. That's what it is.
I like that.
Mother effing Catalina wine mixer.
Happening. I'm writing it. That's the name of the episode right now. Alien Chardonnay happening. All right. But the other thing to watch this week, and we're going to talk about this because there are some strong feelings on both sides about this.
We all like strong
Yeah.
feelings, baby.
Yes. So it was 30 years ago, last week, I believe. That,
How?
I know, right? Star Trek Generations happened, the movie.
Wow.
And that's the one where, spoiler alert, if you're listening to a show called Geekshow, you know this, I'm sure. But Kirk dies at the end.
Nada.
Harry,
Spoilers.
remember?
Some of us aren't that far yet.
This was our. This was our.
That's right. I forgot about Rebecca.
Oh,
Womp womp.
This was
Well,
our
now you
first.
know.
Out
This
there.
was our first leaked internet script, Carrie.
This was. I have it right over here, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah, and let's just say we know it was a wildly different movie
It was.
in 4 areas.
So what happened was this company called Otoy that's been working with the Roddenberry Archive. They are a special effects house. And it's funny because Shatner was talking about this like 6 or 7 months ago, saying he'd play Captain Kirk again, but you would have to use the de-aging technology. And everybody laughed because it's not where it needs to be, right? Well,
For someone that old, I don't think it ever will be.
exactly.
Oh, slam.
Boom.
So what Otoy did with the Roddenberry Archives is they made a 10-minute film. There's no dialogue in this except for some narration.
Which was smart.
Well, I did some research on that, Tony. We'll get to that because we talked a little bit about this on the Space Show show. And what it is it's everybody is interpreting this video in their own way. This is my personal take on it, is this is what Kirk saw when he said, "Oh my." That's
He dies in the Nexus, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my take on this. So this is, and now what they've done is they've gotten, Shatner was there on stage, and they've got live actors to play other character parts. They brought back Robin, what's her name? Robin Curtis to play Lieutenant Savick. And they do this whole wonderful scene of him walking along in the fields and then seeing two different versions of himself. And Sam Witwer is one of the actors who plays young Kirk. And we were
all Kirk.
Yeah, we were talking about this after the Space show, and how it was interesting that none of them spoke, and we all speculated that's because the tech isn't there. But I found this morning some video footage of Robin Curtis doing some lines as Saavik, and they said, you're going to think that this is archive footage, but it's not. And she was speaking and expressing on her face. It looked good. And I thought to myself, why didn't you put that in the video? Because everyone's going on about how this looks fake, it looks AI, it's all that. But this Robin Curtis video, and you can find it out there, it's just like 10 seconds long. It looked like young Robin Curtis, like you took that footage from Star Trek 3 or something. But it's just amazing. Anyway, thoughts on this?
I like his outfit.
That's
I like the oh my concept that you have there. That
yeah.
For me, it's now my new headcanon.
That's just my interpretation of it.
No,
Everybody,
it's my new headcanon.
I hate to get. I've been watching a lot of reactions to this, and there are people who think this is the Daystrom Institute Kirk that got out from Picard season 3, where they know they have a Kirk clone in the Daystrom Institute.
Yeah.
I got really metaphysical with it because I watched it 3 or 4 times, sobbing my eyes out each and every time. It's just you have regrets as you get older, especially as friends die, and Kirk and Spock in particular had such a strong bond. The Nexus allows Rebecca, I don't know if you want to earmuff this or not. Okay. The Nexus has such intense energy that Jean-Luc Picard is able to go back and find Kirk. So why wouldn't Kirk, as his dying wish, be able to go and sit with Spock on his deathbed?
Oh, I like that theory too.
I don't think, I mean, literally from a metaphysical point of view, who is he going to do? What is he going to do? So yes, oh my, he's seeing that moment. He's seeing that moment where he sees all the different Kirks in that realm of possibility. And then he goes to the one place that he realizes he needs to be, which is with Spock, who's displaced in time in a different fucking reality.
Yeah.
In the past, dying alone with none of his friends, and then James Tiberius Kirk sits down next to him and holds his hand, and they watch the sunrise together.
Oh.
And that's it. That's what he uses all of that infinite power for, is the literally most powerful thing in the world you can do, which is to be there for someone when they need you the most.
I like that.
Well,
Wow.
that may be my new headcanon. Sorry, Gary.
So,
Oh, that's better than mine.
That was better than I like his outfit. Yeah.
You really like that outfit.
Yeah. I was like, damn. All right.
so Lee, this is a fantastic segue to my terrible opinion,
Yes.
because I really love what this does mean for people. I've seen a lot of really positive, like, oh my gosh, like this means so much, and like the really wholesome, loving interpretations of it. I hated it because it just had that AI deep fakey sheen on it. And I know that they put a lot of effort into doing as much as, as everything that they could, like physically and digitally, with human hands, right? But it just overall had such a sheen on it that made me go, oh,
Yeah.
no,
see,
thank you.
That's what I was in that same boat yesterday until I found that Robin Curtis footage. And then I went, why didn't they put more of that in there? Because that would have shot that argument right down. It's amazing to see.
I think it goes down to fake Hulk. I mean, we used to have this argument with Shannon and Scott Pierce way back in the day, 100,000 years ago when Geekshow first hatched in the primordial ooze. Hulk looks fake. Well, of course he looks fake. He's 12 feet tall
Hulk.
and he's green.
Yeah.
We are going to be predisposed to, no matter how good this technology is going to be, there is no way our brains are ever going to accept it as real. We just
Right.
can't.
And that's what I was going to say, Lee. The same thing.
Yeah, it's like the Navy having problems with some of their best pilots not being able to do simulators because they start vomiting immediately because their brain says, you're hallucinating. What did you eat? Start throwing up. It's like our brains are so strong.
If
We know this is wrong.
exactly, if you know that Captain Kirk is old and he shouldn't look young,
Yeah.
your brain's just not going to accept
Like
it.
looking at this picture right now that we have on the screen,
Yeah.
there is no part of my brain that does not think this is an archive footage from the mid-90s.
Yeah, it looks
That's
Looks
Sam
fantastic.
Witwer.
Yeah, that's Sam Witwer.
Yep.
And
I
that's his
thought-
hair. That's his
I
real
thought
hair.
my takeaway, it needed more Kirstie Alley. But other than that,
Friend.
Wow.
She's
Wow.
dead,
She
dude.
long gone, baby.
So's
they
Nimoy.
coulda
She's in the
AI'd
arms
that.
of Xenu right now.
They could have AI'd that too. I also
Wait.
forgot she was dead until just now.
Yeah, yo, like straight up. Wait, what? I
Yeah.
need a minute.
I totally
What?
forgot.
Yeah, she's in the arms of Xenu.
Wow, talk about look who's dying.
Boom.
Bazinga.
But no, I'm with I'm in the like it camp. I thought, and I don't have any super positive feelings about the original series stuff.
Wish you would.
I liked the movies, but I just could not get into the actual TV show. But anyway, even that being said, it almost brought a tear to my eye, and I'm watching it just thinking, this is fantastic. And I think part of it might be because one of my obsessions is video game graphics and things like that I'm watching it just thinking they did a fantastic job with this.
Yeah.
Knowing what the limitations are, because I immerse myself in that kind of nonsense. So
Now the video, Lee, the video starts with what's his name with the silver eyes?
Gary Mitchell.
Gary Mitchell.
Thank you, Rob.
And he gets Gary. I can't remember his actual Gary Lockwood.
Yes.
He gets credit in this. The man's been dead for a while, so I
Yeah.
mean, imagine
See?
his
Could
estate
have
being
Kirstie
like,
Alley.
yeah. But I mean, that one wasn't hard to fake. It's just God floating in space in a Starfleet uniform and silver eyes.
I was just wondering if there was any significance to that. But
And
anyway.
that's wild too, because I do think it does, because we know from the comics that he is a god, and that there's some interesting things that Gary Mitchell is doing, and he's just floating around. So does he nudge Kirk at some point to say, "Go see your friend"? Because
But-
what was Gary Mitchell? He was Kirk's best friend in the Academy, right?
That's where I was going with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what does a god have remorse for? A god might have remorse for not having those moments before godhood, to be
But
human, to be
again-
in those moments.
But again, this could also be Kirk regretting the actions they had to take because of Gary in that episode, because of the way that episode ended. Kirk had some issues coming out of that episode.
If I were Kirk, I would have had no issues. Once I saw the tombstone that he got my middle initial wrong, I'd be like, "You're dead to me, Gary."
You're not a real good friend, are you?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so there you go. Go watch that at the Roddenberry Archive. They got a couple of other videos like that as well.
They bring in J.M. Colt, who's like the ensign, the yeoman from Pike's days on the Enterprise, and that's a different actress who just happens to look exactly like
You mean,
the woman
you mean
from the 60s.
the one with strong sexual drives?
Yeah, the strong sexual drive. The strong urge to reproduce. I think my last bit on any of this is that there's only one wrong take on any of this. If it looks fake to you, it's fake to you. If it looks real to you, it looks real to you. If it means nothing, that's fine. If it means everything, that's fine. The one take, no, this isn't redeeming Star Trek from all the crappy new Trek out there, because that is your shitty interpretation of all the new Trek. Just because you don't like new Trek doesn't mean that this is the only good thing that's come out of Star Trek in the last 25 years.
Agreed.
That's just you and your prejudice and the chip on
All
your shoulder.
Trek is good Trek.
Yeah, you
yeah.
jerks.
From a certain point of view,
Yeah,
it's all
you
good.
jerks.
All right.
You mopes.
Let's do a little housekeeping here. Of course, our Patreon, geekshowgothiscovered.com is the link directly to our Patreon account where you can support the show. It's commercial free after all. And we get you the Space Show early. We get you the after party, which we do right after this episode. And there's some more stuff coming there. We're working on a secret project. We'll let you know.
I don't know if anybody really wants to see that Uhura fan dance from any of us.
But I already taped mine.
Also, geekshow.store is where you can get our products, our shirts and flags and those lanyards that you can use at work.
I think we should just make the fashion doll tea part of the official lineup.
It is now.
It is.
I mean-
at this point, you know?
All right. Let's move on then to the He-Man movie, the live-action He-Man movie. Yes, it looks like, if the deal is settled this weekend, Idris Elba will be Man-at-Arms.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, I got some commentary here.
All right.
All right, so they've already cast
I like this
Tila
outfit.
in this,
Mm-hmm.
and it depends on which version of the canon you're looking at. Duncan is her father, along with the sorceress as her mother.
Ah.
So I'm kind of like, all right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Love Idris Elba. I'd listen to him read the phone book. I mean, it's Black Superman.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of like, that's a choice to get in. I'm sure it's to get name recognition for a popular character in the series. Great, and I'm sure that it will not get as much flack as if they race changed another character or any other character.
Who's Tila? Who's playing Tila?
Camila Mendez is playing Tila.
Veronica from the Riverdale.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I mean, granted, it's a fantasy world. Doesn't matter. I'm just kind of like,
Magic.
that's a choice, but okay.
Magic.
Well, you need kind of a.
Well, I mean, let's face it.
Tough
Masters
guy
of the
in there,
Universe was mighty white,
It was.
with the
yes.
exception of Clamp Champ.
Indeed.
Masters of the universe.
I wasn't going there, Rebecca, but thank you.
Thank
you.
I don't know.
Right there.
The thing I'm looking forward to is Alison Brie as Evil Lynn. That's all I needed to hear.
Well, yeah.
I think they should have made sure they cast a person who was clearly just yellow.
Yellow, yes.
I'm talking not jaundiced. I'm talking yellow, like just slightly
Like a
lighter than
Simpson?
his chest plate.
Like a Marge Simpson.
That's what color.
Like a
That's
Simpsons.
Evil Lynn was that color of yellow when they first did the action figures, and then
Yeah.
eventually she became
Oh.
not quite so yellow.
Not quite so yellow.
Uh,
All right. And then
So
this is interesting casting too.
Yes.
Because I didn't know that Sgt. Rock was on the table for James Gunn.
Are you kidding?
But there you go. And they're talking to Daniel Craig.
Rock.
Nice.
Sergeant Rock.
Okay.
What's this
I
guy's
like
deal?
that.
He is basically
Well,
is
Daniel
DC's
Craig
Nick
played
Fury.
007.
Daniel Craig married to Rachel Weisz.
He is a highly skilled ex-soldier, part of the DC Comics since the 1950s. He's just kind of a badass. He's not got any superpowers.
Oh,
But
Well, can Daniel Craig do an American accent though?
yes.
yeah. Have you not seen Knives Out?
Or Lucky
joking.
11? Oh, no.
Or Lucky, or
Lucky number
Get
11?
Lucky.
no, it's
No.
Lucky Logan.
Lucky
Lucky
Logan.
Logan
that
Lucky.
one. Lucky somebody.
He
It's
was
Logan
so
Lucky.
good in Logan Lucky. Yeah, I'm excited for this.
they're not saying whether it's a movie or what the deal is, but they're talking to him about it. So
I hope it's a traveling puppet show.
that would be fun. There is a puppet show coming in the DC universe.
Ah,
There is.
Puppets.
Puppets. Let's see. Bad news for Lee. Scott Pilgrim not coming back for season 2.
I didn't think so.
Of course,
I mean,
it wasn't planned. So
I barely finished season 1,
Yeah.
and it was actually amazing. And I mean, they actually played United States of whatever, Carrie.
oh really?
Yeah,
This is my United
Yeah.
States of whatever.
as a skateboard anthem with Chris Evans.
I love it.
It was fantastic.
Brian Lee O'Malley wrote on his Twitter account, "It's been a year since Scott Pilgrim Takes Off came out. It was an honor to work with all of the cast and staff around the world. It was like conducting a symphony orchestra every day. But from the moment Ben David Grabinski sparked the idea, the project felt like a one-of-a-kind miracle. We were recently informed the show will not return, but as you know, we only intended one season. Called in a lot of favors to make it happen, so making more would have been nearly impossible. But anyway,
The premise was so incredible. I mean, it was done in Brian Lee O'Malley's art style, and it's what happens if Scott dies during his first fight. And he does. And then it turns into a murder mystery, and then it turns into a time travel caper. It is some dense sci-fi, and it's a
So
ton
it's
of
only
fun.
murders in the comic. Got it.
ooh, thank you.
Yeah,
Whoa,
but then Ramona becomes convinced that he wasn't killed, that he was kidnapped by an extra-dimensional being. It's just like it's all over the
right.
place. It's so fun.
Well, I understand that Ramona is the star of this series, right?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Okay,
very much
all right.
so. But it's like, yeah, she's trying to put together everything, and like Gideon Graves isn't the bad guy. He gets defeated by the guy who defeats Scott. It's a ton of fun, especially if you like the comics, and it ties in with the movie really well. And yeah, it's fun.
We also got news that Star Wars Visions Volume 3, they're calling it, Season 3, will be back. If you like the first two.
Would you say woke?
See, now I'm gonna anyway. It's anime shorts, Star Wars based, Japanese studios. You're familiar with it.
It's awesome.
It is kind of cool. And here's the thing: is that I don't hear Star Wars fans bitching about this.
No, because the average incel loves anime.
Is that it?
They can't complain.
Yes, they do. They do. There's whole Reddit forums about when my mom comes home, I'm going to tell you a thing or two about Ranma 1/2 pre-launch.
Because I still see acolyte, hate online, but I never see them bitching about this.
Yeah.
They still want to investigate the 2020 election. Like, people cling on to the thing they hate so much.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, so you're going to get more of those?
No, the Venn diagram with the type of incel that's going to sit there and rage out until the sun has a heat death explosion and still be complaining about the acolyte and how much they love anime. That Venn diagram is almost a solid circle. Like,
Wow.
it's pretty wild.
Okay. Now, this was a story that I was kind of blown away by.
Bless you.
Bless you
Right.
again.
Jay's allergic to Lost.
I was going to say, I was looking at
Hey,
the
I am.
the streaming numbers of the week, October 21 through the 27th. And viewings of Lost on Hulu and Netflix hit a high that week,
Weird.
Oh, yeah.
finishing first among all acquired series. That's including new stuff. I mean, 1.03 billion minutes of viewing time in the U.S., according to Nielsen. And it's the 20th anniversary of the premiere.
Yeah, they just don't make shows like this anymore.
And they didn't then either, but it's okay.
It was one of a
This is
kind.
2004?
A miracle baby of a show.
I think
Yeah.
I think Lost was amazing, and if they had just stuck with one of the 11 showrunners they had hired, it would have been the greatest thing ever made.
Yeah, they needed a concise
Yeah,
someone to herd them.
but
so
I
to speak.
am not unconvinced that From is not unofficially a sequel to Lost. I'm not
It
unconvinced.
is.
I know it's on my list.
I wanna get into this show. I
Lost
give
or
it a
From?
try. Lost. I mean, I see. I can't understand. Like, is this like people talk about it like it's the greatest show of all time? Is this like The Wire for white people? I don't get it.
It is the greatest concept of all time.
Got it. Okay. I hope this is good. I hear the ending is meh, but like the idea of it is
I
great.
liked the ending personally. I thought it was fine.
Thank you for that, Jay. I appreciate representing the hometown today, so thank you.
Yeah. It just it just blew me away that a 20-year-old show is number one on streaming. It's just
That's
kinda,
wild.
I mean, kind of cool, kind of wow.
I mean, wasn't Breaking Bad? I know it's not that old, but I mean, like, wasn't that trending at one point?
oh yeah,
Well, and also like
Yeah,
Suits,
for sure.
right? Like Suits is getting a whole
Suits.
spin-off show because
Yeah.
of its traction on Netflix.
Yeah.
and
Wow,
also
that is
also
wild.
also in these numbers, the Lincoln Lawyer is huge.
Mm.
Again,
What?
these are shows I don't understand it either. But
Wow.
there it is.
Somebody just let their TV on here. Just
I'm guessing.
goes to bed.
You know,
White noise for the dogs when you
I
leave them
guess.
at home.
let's see. Now this is a story that Disney fans are losing their shit over this. And I understand them, again, I understand them being upset because their Muppet Vision 3D, if you never saw it, was a great show. It was one of the last things that Jim Henson directed. They built theaters in Disney World and Disneyland, 3D glasses. It was a combination of a 3D film, live action animatronics, and live actors. It had everything, and it was a delight. I'll say that. But then they closed it in Anaheim, and the building just kind of sat there for the longest time. So I thought, why did you close it? I don't understand. But now they're closing the Muppet 3D theater in Disney World, and Disney fans are losing their shit.
What if we put on one last show?
Well,
Last
it's still
show.
up. It's still up for now. But they announced that what they're going to do is they're going to tear it down, and they're going to build a new Monsters Inc. attraction, which will be kind of a roller coaster type ride based on the end of the first Monsters Inc. movie. You know, the door thing, where they're riding on the doors. It's going to be based on that. Now, they said, look, we understand you're upset about the Muppets. And why Disney can't figure out what to do with the Muppets, I don't know. But I guess that they've run out of the rights for Aerosmith on the rock and roller coaster at Walt Disney World.
Oh no.
So what they decided to do is we'll put Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem on the rock and roller coaster and take Aerosmith out, which I'm fine with.
Okay.
But the Disneyland fans are just losing their minds over this.
Why can't they figure out the Muppets? I mean,
Exactly.
Why can't
The
they
Muppets
figure
are
out after
easiest.
programming?
Well, they're also the trickiest because, like, in the last 20 years, I can only think of one Muppet project that actually had universal love poured on it. Everything else has had either really iffy results or outright hate thrown at it. But like the 2011 movie, I think, is the only one that everybody just said, yes, that's it, that's perfect, and it was. It had a huge beating heart, and it was lovely. But
I don't understand why they can't figure out what to do with them. I mean, you can't even really find Muppet characters in the parks. It's strange. I don't understand it. They own this massive franchise, and they just don't know what to do with it.
I think it's concern about sexual tension.
Yeah, that's it.
Between.
Speaking of frog.
Like anybody in Sweetums, right? You see that guy, you're just gonna be like,
Well, the internet just has so many good ideas. You just make any movie, keep one human. Like, it is a formula that I don't really think you can go wrong with. Just make any movie, one human. Baby, you got a stew going.
oh, you're talking about your Benoit Blanc mystery with Muppets?
Benoit Blanc, John Wick. Name any movie and just
Yeah.
I got one. Muppet Fight Club.
Muppet Fight Club. Keep Edward Norton.
But they're
Oh yeah,
puppets.
get Dev
Yeah.
Patel to do Muppet Man.
I like this. Keep going.
See, we already have thrown out
Midsommar. Keep Florence Pugh.
millions of dollars worth of ideas here, Disney. Come on, you can do the Muppets.
Gladiator.
right there.
Keep Russell Crowe.
No, he is a Muppet.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh,
All right. Finally, the war of the popcorn buckets continue.
no, this wasn't in the notes. I don't have.
They're finally getting a popcorn bucket sale out of Lee George Cade.
This is the new AMC popcorn bucket for the. You're gonna have to help me with this, Lee. Lord of the Rings: War of the
Rohirrim. You
Rohirrim?
did well though.
You
did the horse lords, the horsey guys,
Thank
the war
you.
of the horsey guys.
We'll have the biggest and most dangerous popcorn bucket ever. There it
Oh,
is.
look at that! It's even got a spike on the pommel.
27 inches long. I thought it was a miniature when I first saw it, and then I went, no, they're doing it full size, true to size, 27-inch hammer.
I just hope they don't let anybody bring these into the theater.
That's gonna
They
pop
will.
people on the head if they use their cell phones.
There's going to be an impaling.
But look, you can pass popcorn to your friend down the aisle. See? Yeah.
No, if I see one bastard take his shoes off in the freaking theater, then he's going to get pommeling.
No. It's $33. Not
You guys-
including tax.
Look at this one that I just found.
Oh.
Man, they
That's
really
pretty
want y'all to see movies, man. They really like that's how you to me the better the crazier the popcorn bucket, the trashier the movie.
I don't know why people are like getting so weirdly pissy about popcorn buckets. I think it's a great idea.
I think
it
it's
is,
great.
too.
They got to make their money somehow, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think the Wolverine sex toy bucket was pretty awesome.
Also, with this Lord of the Rings movie, they're releasing a drink cup that looks like a wooden mug. So you can get
That's so
that. Lee.
stupid. I was so proud of my wife because we walked out of the movie we went to see the other day, and we saw a poster for this, and Rachel looked at it and said, "Is that movie about Helm Hammerhand?" And I was like, "I love her so much right now."
Ah,
I love that. I
So
love that.
it's
So there
my
you go.
nerd queen. She's
Ain't love grand, baby.
I'm trying to find the heretic one. Why can't I find a picture
there's
of
a
the heretic?
there's a heretic popcorn.
Yeah,
bucket?
Yeah.
I want it so bad for my weed. It looks like a Book of Mormon.
Yeah, unfortunately, you open it up and it's full
Oh.
of questions instead of popcorn.
It's fantastic.
I thought you were saying Hereditary for a minute, and I was like, I don't think
No,
anyone
that
wants
one.
any popcorn
That one
bucket
is.
related
Ooh,
to
that one's
that.
the daughter's head.
Yeah,
Gee.
it's just a creepy dollhouse.
Just no.
I want that Beetlejuice one. It's the book for the recently deceased. That's the one I want.
I want the Midsummer one that's two old people being thrown off a cliff.
I originally wanted the one all the way back from January, the Mean Girls one. It's a burn book that is a popcorn tin, and that's the one I wanted for my weed.
There you go.
But
All right.
the commemorative Starbase 80 popcorn bucket's the best because it's just a corn dog.
Just a corn dog.
Yeah.
Let's get to what we consume this week. Who wants to go first? Lee.
This is funny. You're gonna love it. So last week I heard about a show that Tony was talking about called Legends of Vox Machina. I'd never heard of it before. Now here's where the
Really?
entertainment factor comes
Have you
in.
really never heard of
Oh
it?
no, I had heard about it, kind of.
Okay,
sort of.
because I've talked
And
about
I-
it.
Rob
And I
and
know
Jay
I-
talked about it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
but remember, this is the critical factor, and this is gonna be a recurrent theme in this quick story.
The Critical Role factor.
There's some brain damage here that is affecting my memory. So you guys can talk about a lot of fun things, and I'm gonna go, that's news to me, even if you bring it up every week. Okay, so I pull up the show because you guys are talking about it. I'm like, oh, I love fantasy. I love animation. I like D&D. Oh, Matthew Mercer, he's awesome. This is great. Critical Role. I may have listened to it at some point and don't remember it. Turns out I watched the entire first season.
Don't remember it.
I don't remember any of it. I watched the whole season again, and I'm like, this is really entertaining. Why do I have no recollection of anything? Characters, story, plot, none of it. It's all brand new to me. I know I watched it, though, because it kept saying resume, and it would be at the credits, right? So,
Oh no.
yeah, so I love this new place that my brain's at. If you guys ever want to tell me something in confidence, go ahead, because I won't remember in 4
All
hours.
right.
Yeah, really, at first I was really annoyed by it. I kind of hated
Discovered
two of
this
the
new show
characters.
called Vox Machina.
Yeah, I discovered this new show called Battlestar Galactica, Carrie. It's really good. It's in space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
So,
Okay.
season 2 of Arcane, go to hell, you bastards, for making a show that it made me have feelings. So, jerks, you assholes.
Get 'em.
And then we went to see a delightful comedy called Heretic. And it's really interesting to read reactions that people have to this based off of their religious upbringing. So for folks brought in within the monotheistic monopoly that runs Utah right now, it's a bit of a sensitive subject because they actually do get quite a bit of, from what I understand, the culture here accurately. But also,
Yeah.
it's like you're hanging out with the obnoxious stoner professor that just happens to dabble in theology. Hugh Grant's amazing in it. The actresses playing the sisters are phenomenal, and it's a stage play.
You had
And
me
if-
up till play.
If the studio hadn't have stepped in, during the third act and said, "Isn't this supposed to be a horror movie, not like a psychological thriller?" Because I feel like it kind of fell apart towards the end, but really fun, really interesting, and
I would like to do just a shameless self promotion really quick.
Sure.
Me and another film critic who she's a returned sister missionary. We got together and did like an hour-long discussion of the movie. I can share a link to that. if
yeah,
you're
you should.
I'd like to
you
hear
should.
that.
So yeah, that was my week of consumption.
There you go. Thank
I'm
you.
glad you made it out of your consumption.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Oh no.
I'm
Not
glad
so
you
much.
got that.
Who's next? Jay, you want to go?
Yeah. So I've been on a movie kick, and I've been watching like old school movies that I never haven't like seen before, randomly. Well, and then just oldies but goodies that I always love. Man of the Year with Robin Williams and Christopher Walken, where he's a comedian that runs for president.
Oh,
Uh, it's worth taking a look at again. I forget when it came out, but it's worth watching with what's going on right now. Like it makes me
2006 that movie came out.
yeah, and it's crazy to me how and then to get myself hyped because today's my dad's birthday. We're gonna go watch.
Happy birthday!
Nice.
And so for his birthday, he wants to see Denzel be Denzel in the Gladiators.
You got to. You got to.
So I'm taking him to go see Gladiators today.
Tell Dad he's going to do 2 more Equalizer movies too. So.
Yeah, he loves the Equalizers. I told him, and he was like, "What?" My recommendation is, if you can, wherever you're at, when you're looking for quality time, take your father to a Jersey Mike's, because they really love the pastrami sandwiches there. They got
Dads love Yellowstone and pastrami sandwiches.
And he does. My dad loves Yellowstone.
It's a show for dads.
He's like, you
I
should
should start watching it.
It's crazy. He was like, yeah, you need to watch the Yellowstones. And I'm like, all right. So, but like, he's like, yo, you want to watch the game? I'm like, yeah, let's go watch the game. He's like, yo, let's go to Jersey Mike's. I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I like their pastrami sandwich. We get there, they don't have a pastrami promotion. He's like, you can go to another store. He's like, oh man, this is some bullshit. And so then he said, we get the pastrami sandwich, or we figure it out. We get another different sandwich, and then he says, well, do you want to go back to the house and maybe we get some beers? I was like, well, Dad, I don't really drink beer like I used to, but since we're out, do you want to go stop at a dispensary? He's like, yeah, let's do that. And so my dad had never been to a dispensary, so I took my father to a dispensary, and it was the funniest shit I've ever. It was like, just if you can do that with your parents, do that. If your parents are still around, take them to the dispensary. If you don't smoke or if you don't do anything like that, just still take them, just to see how they react. It's just fun because you start learning shit. I was like, he started telling me stuff I did not want to know at all. I was like, oh no, we don't need to know that. This wasn't even all right. Anyways, what else?
Not what I'm drinking.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry, guys. I just felt like sharing that this morning. I'm in a good mood today, so
it's all right.
But yeah, just recommend. I recommend keep checking out comedy, man. There's a lot of great comedians.
Yes.
And if you know what, let me just say this: if you can do this, if you find a comedian that you like, share their stuff, man. Like seriously, share their stuff. Follow it. Put it on your story. Share their Instagram videos, because there are so many great comics that are just waiting to pop. They're just wait, like, hoping. So,
all right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
So let's see. This week, didn't watch many movies. Watched parts of the various movies of The Hobbit, because the girls were interested in that. Sarah had read the book to them many rains past, so she's like, why not? And they quite enjoyed it. So they are moving on to Fellowship of the Rings. We'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to come over.
Come over. We'll get popcorn. We'll do the whole thing.
Oh, man.
Can you get popcorn?
Get the popcorn hammer.
Yeah, I can. I have what's called a dietitian now. Allows me to do things. Yeah.
Damn, okay. So you're doing well for yourself, bro. You got yourself a dietitian.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I too enjoy Yellowstone and dispensaries.
Yo, Yellowstone.
Yeah. I'm your dad now, Jay.
Oh, real quick, Rob, before you continue,
go.
Can I piggyback when you're finished, because I just realized my edible kicked in and I had a complete list of all, and I found the list of what I've been consuming, and I'll keep it short. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna circle back to Jay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
Because Robert didn't quite get started. So yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Okay, this is very quick. So if you find yourself in San Francisco and you want to get tea, go to Vitality Leaf. This place is amazing. You got me. I had Mr. Ming came through, man. We went to like a tea shop and we sat down. We were drinking tea. He told us we've been doing tea wrong our whole damn life. You know how you pour tea in the Yep, you say how you pour tea in the pot, and the first thing you let that thing stew or steep. Yeah, yeah.
You let the leaves marinate.
I got you.
Yeah. So you're supposed to throw that joint out on the first one. You're supposed to just completely throw it. That wakes the leaves up. it makes the tea leaves up, and then you keep that second batch. You're only supposed to not. You just supposed they tell you you're supposed to steep it for like 3 to 5 minutes. That's BS. You're supposed to do it for like 40 seconds. So, anyways, I got the iron. I got the Iron Goddess King joint,
Sounds.
and then I got the Jasmine Silver Silver Needle. Yeah, I tried these. For the fellas, you're gonna wake up. You're gonna wake up strong. You understand what I'm saying, Jack? You're gonna wake up strong.
I like that.
So yeah, I'm just letting y'all know. And then I did go to the comic store. I picked up some new joints. I went to my old comic book store. Shout out to Comic Bugs in Culver City. It used to be Comics Inc. when I was a kid, but I went back. And so I'm checking out Radiant Black. I really can't wait to check this out.
Nice.
It's basically, from what I'm understanding, it's like crazy. It's like Power Rangers with a little bit of Doom, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then I'm checking out Prodigy.
Oh yeah.
So this one, yeah, I guess this is about a brother that's got like just, I don't know. I'm just checking that shit out. And then that's it. There's something else, but I know there's something else, guys.
Did you
I'm
hit
so
the list?
sorry.
I found
everything on
a
your
really
list?
long list of stuff I wanted to talk about. It's tea and 2 comic books.
I'm so sorry.
Two kinds of tea, Rebecca. 2 kinds of tea.
I'm so sorry,
Jay?
Rebecca.
The edible has kicked in.
No, that was worth the
Jay,
trip.
I still love you,
That was
man.
worth the trip.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, I love it.
Wait,
so
Rob, before you start, I have to talk about these teas I tried.
I'm just trying to help people out. I just want people to wake up strong.
Thank you.
Jay, do you want to end with a commentary on moisturizing?
Yes. Coconut oil.
It's still important.
I'm so sorry, guys.
That was fantastic. Nothing to apologize
There's
for.
nothing to
I
apologize.
love it.
I just don't want to drone on. I don't want to go in some meaningless diatribe. I did, and it's just like
It wasn't
And we
meaningless.
love
We
you
learned a
for
lot
it.
about tea.
40 seconds. 40 seconds only on that.
I love getting just random texts from Jay while I'm at the grocery store. It's a delight every time I open it up.
like, okay, here's something people have to understand, and I really back me up on this. Am I the only one that, like, if I think about something, if I think about someone, I will text you immediately in that moment, because if I don't,
You'll forget.
I'll forget, because my memory is. I forget what my memory is, but like it's yeah, that noise.
That's it.
I forget. Yo, I forget what my memory is a wild sentence.
That's it.
What?
Hey, Jay. Jay.
Am I the only one that does this?
No, Jay. You want to see what's on my cooling rack? This is going to hit you different than anybody else right now, specifically. This is on my cooling rack right now.
That's
Yo,
That looks fantastic.
You made everything bagels?
Yes, I did.
I am on the way.
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming over to you to watch
Yeah,
Lord of
that's
the
right.
Rings.
He'll
bring
bring
'em.
bagels.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to try
Follow-
take 2 now.
Follow that, Rob.
Oh,
You know? I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
Reclaiming my
I'm
time.
I am speaking, sir.
Nevertheless, he persisted.
That's right.
Thank you, Jay,
I'm
for
so
that.
sorry.
Thank you for that. Wow. That is going to be a hard one to follow.
love it.
Oh, I'm sorry,
No,
Rob.
honestly,
Rob,
this is the best thing that's happened to me all week. So, you know,
Rob, I'm sorry to interrupt, but my ayahuasca just kicked in, and I got to talk about my 5 favorite things about
Your
Popeye.
fingers? Oh.
about Popeye. All right.
God.
Rob, go ahead.
Man, 2 tough acts to follow. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So, continuing with the Penguin, and oh my God, I got through the Arkham scene with Sophia. Sweet Mary Mother of God.
God damn, that was one of the best origin stories.
That was amazing and scary at the same time.
Yes. And
Super
she
good.
is amazing.
And watching Christina Milioti go through that, and the way that she acted through that episode,
Oh, yeah.
fantastic. There's this new show I discovered called Vox Machina.
You know, I feel like I've heard of that.
No,
So-
wait, what's it about?
Oh, you forgot what your
Imagine.
memory was?
Rob, you might want to make sure you haven't already watched the first season before you dive in.
I might, but this is season 3. And like I said before, watching this season and being at about the same point where the campaign is for the Critical Role show for campaign 1, and watching how this unfolds in both of them, I am enjoying how well they did certain things as a direct adaptation, how they've changed a few other things. But loving it, loving how that's going.
That demon dragon fight in season 3.
Oh, we just watched that one last night. That
Yeah,
was
so
cool.
I forgot to mention I did blitz through the entire series in 2 days.
Okay.
Star Trek Prodigy. I'm sorry, Voyager season 9. Still watching that. And I just have one word: Chakotay. I'm happy.
Okay.
And Lower Decks is one of those things I've been enjoying with the kids, and watching their reactions to the things is always fun, as well as all the inside baseball you get with Lower Decks.
Chat.
Chad
there's-
is the man.
There's another inside baseball one happening.
I know
in this-
the most recent episode I haven't gotten to yet, and I hear
Yes.
it goes
It is.
deep.
It is something.
It is a deep cut.
Yes. Continuing my read of Elric of Melna Bonet, which is
Man, my
You know-
dyslexia really messes up that word.
Moorcock.
Hey, yo.
Does it not say Moorcock?
No, it
Wait, it
does.
Okay.
that's not the
just-
word she's having a problem with.
Moorcock erect
It's
of
Michael. I have
Melon
difficulty
bone?
with the word Michael.
Oh, even after Burnham, that's really sad. Oh wait, you haven't?
Haven't
She hasn't watched that
I'm
yet.
not there
Yeah.
yet,
Nope,
friend.
she's not there.
Sorry. All right, 6 alphabeticals. Tony, hit me on the 1.
All right. Here you go.
Okay, Exceptional X-Men, Kitty versus Emma. Again, a little different this time though. But I mean, I don't want to call it a cat fight, but I will.
Wait a minute. Is her name Kitty?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Her
Hence,
name is
That's it.
Catherine.
yeah. So
I see
That's
what you
one.
did there.
for the nostalgia factor, Johnny Quest number 4.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm still loving this series. I think that this run concludes with the next issue, but even so, it's hit that perfect spot for me. All in number 1, The Question.
Ooh.
So a couple of weeks ago, I showed you Justice League Unlimited number 1. The Question is the security officer on the Watchtower, and there is a mystery. They're like, we think something's going on. We're not quite sure what. You are who we want to investigate it. And her support team includes 2 Blue Beetles, Ted Cord and Jaime Reyes, Animal Man, and Batwoman, which creates a little bit of tension.
That's a
they
great
broke
support
up.
team.
For Jay and Dr. White, Milestone is back. Shadow Cabinet.
Oh, there we go.
So if you're not familiar with the Shadow Cabinet, they're kind of superpowered beings who are kind of guiding humanity along, and they're recruiting Rocket formerly of Icon and Rocket. She's like, so we've seen what you do. We've seen how much you've gone up against. We want you to help us keep shit straight. And they leave it as a question mark. It's a 4-issue mini series, but so far, top writing.
There we go.
Okay,
Oh.
the captains.
Sam
The
Whitworth
captains.
Yes.
That looks more like Chris Pine.
does kind of.
It's supposed to.
Oh,
I will just leave it
well,
at that.
good job, guys.
I will just leave it at that. This is an interesting continuation of the Lore War, where Lore is trying to rewrite reality in his image. The Theseus crew with Cisco makes it to the Kelvin timeline to request help. And one of the panels that I was actually really surprised to see was the Commodore that Kirk went to go see on the Federation Starbase Yorktown in Star Trek Beyond. Shora Agdashlu's character
Yes,
shows
yes.
up in this. I'm just like, oh,
Oh,
well, that is a
wow.
lovely touch.
The president from The Expanse?
Yes.
Yes.
No. Secretary General. Secretary General.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Step back.
Titans number 17, and one of the all-in titles, the first issue with Donna Troy as the leader of the Titans. And you find out why Dick Grayson was like, she should lead us for right now. Excellent issue. And they go up against an unusual for the Titans villain, but it plays out really well. And lastly, Wonder
Ooh, I
Woman
like that
15.
cover. Yeah.
This book has not has been hitting on all the cylinders for the entire 15 issues. We get a little bit more of the aftermath, or we're getting to the aftermath of the fight that Diana had with the Sovereign. But it also includes Cassie Sandsmark, Yara Flor, Donna Troy, and an unexpected fourth friend helping Diana do something. And it's interspersed with a very interesting take on, what is it, 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed as they're walking their way through this issue. But really good read.
All right.
And I'm out.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right. Rebecca had some problems at the movies.
I have a lot of movies. I have a lot to talk about today.
And a lot of problems.
Hey, let's get into it.
First books I read: Running Man by Stephen King.
You finished it?
Yeah.
I finished it. Yeah.
Richard Bachman, by the way, not Stephen King.
It's Stephen King. I still don't like Stephen King. I have come to the conclusion I like his nonfiction writing, but I cannot stand his fiction. I have never met a character that he's written that I liked. And
I feel that way about Robert Jordan,
is that also Stephen King?
The Wheel of Time.
Oh. A lot of movies to talk about. First movie I'm going to talk about, you can't watch it. It's called Juror Number 2, and it is likely Clint Eastwood's last film. And I will never, ever, ever forgive WB and David Zaslav for what he has done to this movie. It was only released in 50 theaters nationwide, and it is great. It is about a man who is called for jury duty on a murder case, and as the case goes on, he starts to realize, oh, I might have accidentally killed this victim.
What now?
Yeah. Star-studded cast: Nicholas Hoult, Toni Collette, Kiefer Sutherland, J.K. Simmons, Chris Messina, and quite a few other people you would recognize. The directing nerd in me paused the movie a few times to go, wow, that's a spicy directing. Quite enjoyed that. But it is just a fantastic courtroom drama that has you questioning your own morals. It is a great movie that spurs discussion into the gray areas of what we think we should do versus how we choose to protect ourselves. My husband and I were watching it together, and we kept pausing the movie to talk about what was happening. And if this movie did have a wide release, I think it would have done really well based on word of mouth, because it is totally a movie that spurs discussion, and there's no real right or wrong answer. There's no black or white in this movie. There is a lot of nuance, and oh my god, like, what do you do in this particular situation? So it'll hit Max I think the end of December. So when it goes to Max, watch it. It's fantastic.
So what you're saying is this is Civil War without the superpowers?
Not really. Not really. It's just
there's gray areas.
Yeah, there's gray areas, but it's more like courtroom, 12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Avengers?
12 Angry Avengers, yeah. And Nicholas Hoult, his eyes are insane in this movie. Like, he's got some blue eyes, but he's got some, like, crazy blue eyes in this movie. Anyway, Saturday night, that movie about the 90 minutes leading up to the first broadcast of SNL in October 1975, this movie got me pretty emotional as a big Saturday Night Live fan. If this was based on a book, I would read this book. I want to know more. Yes, Carrie.
I've got 2 books up there actually that are the oral history of Saturday Night Live that a lot of this is based on. And
cool.
You can borrow them.
Yeah, because the cast was fantastic. Everybody fits perfectly into their roles as these comedy legends that we know and maybe not necessarily love, but know. Fantastic direction. It is a ride of a movie. It never once drags. It is very high intensity the whole time and very fun to watch.
Question. Is it real time? So is it a 90-minute movie?
That's a great question. I wasn't paying attention to the runtime. I want to say yes.
I was told it was, but
okay.
There's a lot of shots in the movie that you have to stop and think, wait, is this movie being done in one take? It's not. I kept having that thought of, is this happening in one take? There's a lot of long shot takes, but there are cuts, and but like I said, it never drags, and so it really felt like kind of like you were there and feeling the intensity of leading up to a show time, right? Anyway, new releases this week: Gladiator 2.
New favorite movie?
Worst movie going experience in my life. So
Oh, no.
first of all, the theater was giving out these like foam finger things that were a thumb, and it's like said Gladiator on it. And I was like, oh my God, I want one of those. And then we got one and they smelled so bad. Just like that gasoline-y smell that
Oh,
like
yeah.
foam gets, you
Kinda
know?
like that
Petroleum,
smell,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it was so strong that even the girl getting my popcorn was like, oh my God, what smells bad? And
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
And so of course, every single one of us in the theater had one.
Time for a stanky theater.
Bad.
What was it?
And then what was it?
Like, what was the product?
It was just like a foam finger, but like it was a thumbs up.
Ew.
Because
How big?
because
Okay.
the
How big is it?
emperor
Like
decides
it
whether
was big,
he
Yeah.
decides
but it was
whether
like
you live or
it was like
die,
a
you know?
flimsy foam type of.
Like the number one at
Okay.
the sports
Yeah.
games, you know.
Yeah.
But it
Okay.
truly smelled horrific. And then my whole row full of chatty Cathys on their phones the whole time,
Oh.
shoes off, and when the movie
Boo.
ended, left a
Why?
huge mess.
Why?
Straight to jail. Straight to a
Straight to
special kind of personal hell.
Who thinks it's okay to take their goddamn shoes off in a movie theater?
Same people that
yeah.
take their shoes off on planes.
Bingo.
But here's the thing. Gladiator 2 attracts the kind of crowd it deserves. This movie sucked. If I wanted to watch Gladiator 1, I would have watched Gladiator 1, which I did, by the way. That movie rips. And here's the thing. The first Gladiator has the juice. It has the sauce. It takes the time to make you care about Russell Crowe. It takes a whole 45 minutes to an hour building up Russell Crowe's character to make you care about him. It sets him up as a leader that you want to root for. Gladiator 2 gives you Paul Mescal with the weakest revenge plot ever put to screen. They take Russell Crowe's character and they kind of split him into two people. So now it's Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal. And like... Again, if I wanted to watch Gladiator, I would have just watched Gladiator. It takes a lot of the same plot beats and says, hey, it worked in the first movie. Why don't we just do it again?
I mean, you got Pedro Pascal there. Just give him all the stuff to do. Just
I mean,
you know.
I guess I'm ready to see Pedro Pascal be a villain. He's not really a villain in this.
Did you not see Wonder Woman 84? I'm sorry.
Again,
Life
I
is
would
good,
like to see Pedro
but it can
Pascal
be
as a
better.
villain.
Yeah. I
And
would like to see him as a ruthless villain,
like
yeah.
Joker 2 wastes Lady Gaga, Gladiator 2 wastes Denzel Washington. He's giving the performance of a lifetime and he is chewing up that scenery. He is hamming it up. He is having a blast. But it sucks when this is all he has to work with. And again, I don't know if Ridley Scott's ever seen a baboon or a rhino or a shark. And the thing about Gladiator 1, do you know how many times I said, whoa, that's cool in Gladiator 1? A lot. Do you know how many times I said, whoa, that's cool in Gladiator 2? Never. -6 times.
Wow. Did not care.
I went back in time and I made myself not say it about the first one. The second one was so bad.
Like Ridley Scott, come on. Anyway.
So
And
it's
then-
more,
not-
it's
wait,
more of a
wait.
remake than a sequel.
What?
Not even that, because you know how often they reference Maximus? Too many times. Far too many times. You remember Maximus?
remember.
Wasn't he a cool gladiator?
What does not knowing what a shark looks like have to do with the movie?
I'm assuming a water pit.
Yeah, water pit in the Colosseum.
And there's no shark, or there's a shark that
No,
looks
there are
wrong?
sharks.
There's
there are
a
sharks.
shark.
Man, this makes me sad.
Yeah, like
It's just a gall that they taped a fin to.
Oh, okay.
All right.
and then also that came out this week, Wicked. Listen, if you don't know what Wicked is by now, I cannot help you. This movie has been marketed and advertised for the last 8 years.
It's true.
Yeah.
I have been a certified Wicked hater since high school. The Broadway musical came out in 2003. I was a theater kid, and all the other theater kids were blasting the soundtrack. And in pure Rebecca fashion, I had to go counter to that and avoid it at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been pushed over the edge by all of the marketing and the interviews over the last, like I said, 8 years. I am so tired of Wicked in my periphery. That said, this movie was fun. I had a fun time at the movies. I quite enjoyed it. John Chu's the director. I think he should keep doing musicals. I thought he had a real eye for it, but I also just really love musicals. I also really get emotional at stuff that I know carries weight. And so, like, I can watch the series finale of a show and having not seen the rest of the show and still get like really emotional at the series finale. So I was definitely crying at the end of this movie. It is a part 1. So Wicked, the musical itself on Broadway, 2 hours and 45 minutes. This movie, Act 1, 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
it's a lot.
because think The Hobbit. How long was The Hobbit, and how many movies did we get out of it? Not surprising.
I think I could read The Hobbit faster than I could watch all the movies.
Confirmed.
Wow.
Confirmed.
You could.
That said, I never really felt like this movie dragged. Like, there were some instances where I was like, okay, we can kind of wrap up this scene, but I felt the pacing was pretty good. I never felt bored.
Okay, so I have a question for you with
Yeah.
the cast. Jeff Goldblum as the wizard compared to Jeff Goldblum as Zeus in Chaos.
Oh,
Which
these are
one-
the same picture.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did.
like
I had a thought, and I was like, man, am I getting tired of Jeff Goldblum and his Jeff Goldblum shtick?
We burned out on him in the 80s. It's time
That's
to
what you
have
hire
again.
him for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely understand his casting for this particular role as the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's Jeff
So he's
Goldblum.
no Queen Latifah. Got it.
He's
All right.
Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum.
It was amazing when he had his resurgence because we all had our Jeff Goldbluming back in the
Yeah.
80s, early 90s. Like
The Fly,
the
for
man,
me.
the man has a timeline, and
Yeah.
then it's over, and you're happy to see him go.
Is that like Brendan Fraser for our generation?
Oh yeah.
No, Brendan Fraser doesn't have like a shtick.
No. I mean, back when he was popular and then faded from, or was, I guess, blacklisted, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
then came back.
Is that everything?
Yeah,
So
that's all.
Because I only have one thing.
That's all.
Well, I haven't gone
Oh,
yet.
Tony has to go
Oh,
too.
Tony hasn't gone. Go ahead, Tony.
I mean, I guess
No.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Oh, hey, before we get to Tony though, I just want to mention really fast. I've had to cut back on my coffee consumption, so I've been leaning into more green teas for breakfast.
This guy's got you covered right over here.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, so now you're making fun of me? Oh, okay. Yeah. So when you do it, it's cool.
Oh, it was cool when you did it too.
Jay, we're just teasing you.
Oh. Oh.
Stop it. Stop it.
Tony, go ahead.
All right. I finally started season 5 of Solar Opposites.
Finally.
Classic Solar Opposites. It's great.
Classic.
Loving it. I think I'm 3 or 4 episodes into that. I'm keeping up to date each week on Abbott Elementary because you got to. That show's so good. Abbott Elementary.
January 8th, we're getting the Sunny crossover.
Nice. Also watching Vox Machina. We already talked about that. I'd heard of it before last week, so I'd already started it.
Supposedly so had I.
Playing quite a bit of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Awesome game. Really enjoying that. I think I'm about 10 hours into it, and it's definitely doing some fun things, doing some good things. And watched a fantastic action comedy this week called Thelma.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
boy.
Yeah, Thelma was fantastic.
Isn't it good?
It's super, super good. 4.5 out of 5 stars.
June
Squibb. It's just so fun because even if you weren't catching all the action movie references along the way and all the homages, it's still just a fantastic movie in and of its own right. And the fact that they have that action movie fan service throughout it, the way they do it is just, it's chef's kiss. It's a fantastic movie. Check it out on Hulu. Highly, highly recommend. And then I completed the campaign for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Yes, the old one. Really good, actually. I forgot that the Call of Duty Black Ops or the Call of Duty campaigns can be quite quite good. Of note, this one was back when there was that first really big push for Hollywood voices in Black Ops games and video games. The cast for this was Sam Worthington, Michael Rooker, Michael Keaton, and Tony Todd were all the main characters.
Wow.
And they did a fantastic job. If you've never played the Black Ops 2 campaign, I'd say give it a shot. It's really good.
All right. Just one thing. Hamster versus human.
What now?
Yeah, but what?
On
That's not
Max.
Alien Romulus.
It's not Alien Romulus. It's Hamster versus Human. It's a competition show hosted by Sarah Sherman from Saturday Night Live. You know, the quirky one that dresses funny. And what it is they will build giant Habitrails and a regular Habitrail.
What?
And then they have the human do the equivalent of a hamster Habitrail at the same time that the hamster, it's a race. So
Welcome to peak television, everybody.
it was surprisingly compelling, and you wind up rooting for a hamster named Kevin. That's all.
Kevin?
Kevin,
From producers Chip and Joanna Gaines.
No, producers Chip and Dale.
I keep seeing their names pop up on stuff as producers, dying to know what's going on their back.
The
end.
criteria is for
Yeah.
producing the
They
show.
produce
Yeah.
money. That's what they do as producers. But yeah, if you want to see a giant Habitrail that looks like the Matchbox car garage with
They
where you
make
have
them
to push
eat corn as fast as they can.
Yeah.
Oh darn!
What is this on, Carrie?
Max. It's on your
This
HBO
looks
Max.
so ridiculous.
It's a giant at the end. It's a giant Habitrail. That's and who wins is it's
I don't have
ridiculous.
words for this.
Exactly. It's the watch it and just laugh and go, this is how the civilization ends. Not with a
in.
bang.
Are you
but
not
with a-
entertained?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Not with a
Brett-
bang, but a hamster.
Something bread, something
Well played,
circuses.
sir. Well played.
Exactly.
Idiocracy, right there.
All right. Well, let's
Watch
up.
Man of the Year again.
Next up on the list of things to watch, Ow My Balls. All right.
Yeah, exactly. From the people who brought you Hamster versus Human.
Hey yo, I remembered.
Oh,
He's got one more thing.
you found the
all we
list.
got.
It's Columbo.
Doom Prophecy. Doom Prophecy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I haven't started it yet. Did you start it?
I checked it. Yeah, I checked it out. I like. It's pretty to look at. Like I don't know what's going on yet, but I'm into it.
Yeah, the big debate
it's
with
gorgeous.
the big debate with the Dune purists is, will they actually say Butlerian jihad? Will they?
Well,
See, and I'm not deep into the lore like that. I've read the book twice, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, I don't. Nah.
Oh,
just
see,
just
you
make it
have
look
to-
good.
You have to start getting into like the Butlerian theory of AI and AI supremacy, which is a real thing, and then we'll talk about that in the after party. 'cause
Wait,
I really
wait.
want to make sure everybody gets a good nap.
Yeah, we'll head to
I
the
gotta
after
fight
party.
white and AI supremacy now.
Oh,
sorry.
you know what? This is what's truly going to bring all people together is in the war with AI.
Transition lenses, baby.
Welcome to the club.
Helps you read your
One
tea
of us.
ingredients better, doesn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. I recommend. That's my recommend.
We'll head to the after party now, and we can talk about
Wait,
tea and
games.
transition lenses and
Video games.
Nah, man, we got chrysanthemum for you, ho.
Tea Steep
I got-
Simulator
I
available
got the video.
on
I got the video
Steam.
games.
Go
I got the
ahead.
video games up.
ahead.
There's nothing. It's close to
I
Christmas. All the
thought
stuff's
so,
out.
yeah. That's what
So.
I thought. All right, we're headed to the after party. Geekshowgotthiscovered.com.
I look like Edna Mode.
Yes, you do.
Edna Mode.
We'll see you next week. Live long and prosper, bitches.